The Tale of Dionysus.
Part 1. A long time ago, in the majestic lands of ancient Greece, there was a powerful kingdom of the bees. There lived a beautiful princess, Semele, for she was very fair and caught the attention of the king of gods himself, Zeus.
Zeus fell madly in love with Semele, going so far as to swear upon the river Styx to do whatever she asked for. This was a dangerous promise, for the oath was one that not even Zeus could break. Semele asked to see her beloved Zeus in his true godly form.
This was Hera's doing, and the goddess knew that if this mortal saw her husband's true form, she would die. Hera slipped the idea into the poor maiden's mind, knowing what would become of Semele. Zeus, not being able to break the oath, was forced to show Semele his true form.
Zeus came to Semele in his true form in burning light and glory, and Semele died that very moment from the true vision of the god.
Semele was with child, and Zeus put the baby in his side until it was ready to be born. When the child was born, he gave him to Hermes to go to the nymphs of Nysa to raise him.
For many years the nymphs raised Dionysus. When Dionysus was grown, he decided to go and spread his knowledge. He wandered to many strange lands and places on his journey. Wherever he went, he educated people about the culture of the vine from which the grapes of wine grew.
One day, on his way to Greece, a pirate ship was sailing looking for someone or something for a plentiful bounty. Their eyes fell upon Dionysus. He had dark hair and bore a purple cloak. The sailors, believing they could collect a heavy ransom from capturing this man, jumped ashore and tried to seize him.
Dionysus did not resist or struggle as they hurried him aboard their ship. When the sailors tried to bind him, the ropes fell apart. The helmsman, a cautious fellow, understood that this boy was not just some prince. He yelled to his captain, "Sir, we must let this man go. He is a god and will punish us if we do not release him."
The crew just laughed at him and rolled their eyes. "That boy is no god, you coward! Pull yourself together, man!" the captain mocked. He called for all the sails to be ready to sail, but their ship would not move.
Vines began to climb rapidly up the ship and cover the deck as they panicked and tried to speak. The captain was turned into a dangerous lion. The soldiers, scared, jumped overboard and were turned into dolphins, and the lion jumped in after them.
Dionysus stood and approached the helmsman. "Have courage, for I, the god Dionysus, favor you and bestow the gift of mercy upon you."
As Dionysus continued on his travels, he passed through Thrace and was insulted by the king. The king, Lycurgus, was imprisoned in a cave and was later killed by Zeus. Dionysus continued on his way to Greece and came upon many adventures.
When he was wandering the shores of the island of Naxos, he came upon the princess of Crete. Her name was Ariadne, and she had been abandoned there by the Athenian prince Theseus. Dionysus fell madly in love with Ariadne, whom he rescued from Naxos. She died many years later. Dionysus took the beautiful crown he had given her and cast it into the stars.
After losing his beloved Ariadne, Dionysus constantly thought of his mother, who he never knew. He wanted to see her and bring her back from the underworld. It was a terrible and dangerous journey, but Dionysus made the descent alone.
He found his mother and fought off death to keep her. Death eventually gave in and let the god take his mortal mother with him to the land above. She went to Olympus, where she was accepted as one of themselves, for she was the mother of a god, mortal or not.
Part 3. There was once mad, frenzied maidens who roamed the wilderness of Greece. They were crazy for the taste of wine and killed animals and humans alike for the taste of their blood. The maidens were devoted to their god Dionysus. He called them Maenads and cared for them, giving them food and blankets to keep warm in the fierce wilderness. They were free and drunk with ecstasy, fiercely prowling the forests and mountains.
The Maenads worshipped the two sides of Dionysus equally, the side of freedom and blissful joy, also the side of brutality, savagery, and cruelty. Many would say that he could be man's blessing and his ruin.
These traits of cruelty were shown when he arrived in his own city of Thebes. He came in a parade of frenzied maidens, dancing behind him with their fawn skins and pine cone staves waving wildly in the air. Pentheus, the king of Thebes, at this time was surprised and frightened by the sight he saw approaching the city.
Pentheus was Semele's sister's child, who took the throne when her sister died. Little did Pentheus know that this man was his cousin, a great and powerful god. He arrested the Maenads and Dionysus, yet the old blind prophet named Dionysus warned the foolish king.
"This man is a new god upon earth. he as important as the divine Demeter to mankind himself. However, Pentheus did not listen to Dionysus. Instead, he ordered the man out of his sight. Dionysus did not fight as the guards brought him to his cousin. He was alone now, for all the Maenades escaped to the mountains.
Pentheus asked the god many questions with anger, lacing his words. In mock respect, Dionysus answered back calmly, angering the king further. Then Dionysus warned his cousin that the gods would set him free. The gods? Mocked Pentheus.
Yes, they see my suffering and will let me go.
Not where I can see them, Pentheus shot back at the god.
Dionysus answered calmly, You cannot see them, for you are not pure.
The god, angered and frustrated, ordered Dionysus away to the prison. However, Dionysus escaped the prison easily and came forth to the king, but the king sent him away. Dionysus left, leaving the king to the uncertain doom that awaited him. Angry and upset, Pentheus set off to find Dionysus' followers among the hills.
There Pentheus found the maidens who had fled when they escaped the prison, along with many Theban women, including his own mother and sister. Dionysus came to the hills and made all of the women mad.
Thinking Pentheus was a mountain lion, the women attacked him. His mother was the first to fall among Pentheus as they tore him apart. At that moment, Pentheus knew that he had angered a god and would have to pay.
Eventually, the women realized what they had done. Everyone, including his own mother, was in agony, for she had killed her own son. The powerful Dionysus slipped away, leaving the distraught mortals behind him.
Many of the gods struggled in very human-like ways and had to deal with their terrible endeavors of many kinds. Like the grapes Dionysus represented, he died along with the vines every winter.
Alas, Dionysus came back alive every spring, such as the new vine grew to fill man's cup with wine and fill his dreams with joy and terror. The end.